Good afternoon, Palace fans. It's KingB here, back again for another CPFC vlog. It's now Wednesday the 28th, I believe. 9:30. Yes, it is, Wednesday the 28th. And so I'm taking another stroll in the countryside, as I have done a lot this summer. Borstal, Barham area, beautiful countryside. It's done me so good. Love the exercise, love the walking. And I love coming here in the summertime. I'm just getting myself all pepped up and ready for drama school in September for my second year. It's funny coming here because it's obviously a beautiful view, as you can see now, what I'm showing you, all across the fields, the grass, the crops, the farm fields, the boats, the bridge. And also it's interesting coming across this little mini woods here, because as you can see there is what looks like campfire or some kind of shelter, but I'm sure David Icke would like it here, because you could probably get some, rituals or something here, like in the early hours. But anyway, enough of David Icke, that's for another time. I'm here to talk about Crystal Palace. So, usually I prefer to start off with the bad news, and then go on to the good news. However, I'm going to do the opposite today. I think it just makes more sense. So, wow. We fucking beat Manchester United after 30 fucking years. Pure relief, pure class, and great euphoria. Really well done to the boys for stepping up from Sheffield United and finally ending this curse and going there. It didn't matter how much little possession we had or how many less shots on target we had. We took every opportunity we got, played 4-5-1, defend and then attack, which always suits Palace. It's my favourite formation. We should just stick to it, stop playing deep, stop playing 4-4-2, focus on that. And that way, we got the Palace way of playing forward, and we're much suited at winning games, home and away. Really well done to Patrick Van Aanholt and Jordan Ayew for both the goals. Zaha for supporting everyone, working hard. Yes, we were very, very, very lucky, but if you'd offered me 3 points, of course I'm going to take it. I don't care how much we win. 1-0, 2-1, 5-4, we need a win now, and who better to do it away at Man United? Very lucky with the penalty miss, and that they checked the VAR for the other penalty appeals, and we got away with it. But well done, and thanks again for all the travelling supporters that went up and down. Really wish I did. But it's given us a bit of hope from the terrible start that we've had from the transfer window, and we'll have it against Sheffield United. If we could just keep that up, keep that strong momentum, not act lazy, not act tired like we don't want to be there, stick the formation to 4-5-1, then we can have a good season. Or at least, not a terrible one where we look back and say, yeah, we survived, but we only did it just about at the end. Stop finishing 16th or 17th, go and aim for top 10 again. Now onto the bad news. Obviously, I went to Colchester last night. I sat in the main stand for the first time since 2004, when I was 10 years old. And Andy Johnson got a penalty against Walsall, which got us into the playoffs under Ian Dowie for the first time that season. So it was, funny walking through there and through the Glazier's bar and sitting opposite somewhere I haven't done in years, and because obviously I've been sitting in the Homesdale end for the majority of my Palace life. And I know some people say, the Cabal couple, however it's pronounced, is not that big a deal. I'm not arsed by it. I'm not too fussed about the result. It doesn't matter who the team is, big or small. Whoever you're playing, home or away, you've got to go there and show some effort and not show any respect, show some toughness. And so that's the first point I want to make. Secondly, yes, we didn't have the replacements for Joe Ward and PVA, because apparently they've got injured, according to Roy, which I hope isn't too bad, and that they'll be back for Saturday against Villa. But it shows, if you need a replacement, you haven't got anyone in the academy, in this case a right back, you need someone. Spend the money, because as we've just shown, what if your player gets injured? You're fucked. Simple terms. You need to plan ahead, and you need to do the job straight away, 24/7. I don't care how much you have to sweat your bollocks off. Fucking work. So with Sam Woods, I was pleased to see Sam Woods and Riedewald back, but because they were playing in their unnatural positions, it didn't work. Gary Cahill definitely, I think, showed some great leadership. And Camarasa, I do see potential in him, and I think he can contribute at least once this season, but he's got to just attack more. Don't be reluctant and pass it to the back or to your fellow midfielders. Go forward and attack. And because we were playing Colchester, I think Roy thought, well, if I go 4-4-2, we'll win this comfortably because it's only Colchester. Didn't work. Didn't take our opportunities well. Playing too deep, too scared to run forward, and Colchester's tactics at counter-attacking worked brilliant for them. And we weren't up for penalties, hence why we lost. So that was, for me, a bit of embarrassment. And some people say, let's just call it the League Cup for now, by its official title, is not as popular as the FA Cup or winning the Premier League. Yeah, but it would be nice to go on a cup run and, at least start off with some confidence. And, if somebody said to me, would you like to win the cup this season? Then I'd say yes, definitely. Get it in the trophy cabinet, get it in the history. And that's a start. Then we can work to the FA Cup, and then, I don't know, some decades' time, we might go in the Premier League, or we might get into Europe, as we should have done in 1991. Now, back into Colchester, or the Colchester game. Yeah, we've got to move on, but as I said before, whoever the team is, don't change your tactics, and stick to what works best for you, as it did against Man Utd, and we would have thrashed them 4-0, but unfortunately we didn't. Hopefully that's a lesson learnt, but obviously we still haven't learnt about the injury crisis situation. If you get a player that's injured and you've got no one in the academy, you should have bought a player when you had the chance. You had the money, you didn't work hard enough. So, with that in mind, yes, we've got to move on, focus on the Premier League, and then hopefully do better in the first round of the FA Cup when that comes in January, and have a better transfer window, which I'd highly doubt, but I hope that Parish and Friedman prove me wrong. Well, little preview for Aston Villa. Can't wait to go back to Selhurst again, twice in a week. My favourite church on the planet. No matter what happens, win, draw, lose, always be there for them. And as long as Jordan Ayew starts, well, if PVA and Joe Ward are back, I'd like us to stick with the squad we had against Man U and the same formation. If we do that, we can win. I think that's pretty much all I can say. But I think if we play too deep with 4-4-2, then that's us lost. And Villa have won that. And it annoys me a lot when we can't win before the international break, or when we come back, and we don't win afterwards. We've had 2 weeks off ready to prepare again, and it just feels like there's been no effort. So we'll have to wait and see. I guess that's all I could finish off with. I found my Peaky Blinders cap this morning. Thought I'd lost it. So glad to find this back again. Even on Palace days, I love wearing my Crystal Palace wristband, as you can see here. Well, nothing more to say, I guess, except, South London proud. Keep supporting the Palace no matter what. Yeah, I just wanted to keep it as a brief review of Colchester and Man Utd, and do a preview for Villa. I think I've made my point, or as much as I can do now. That's pretty much it. So I'll probably do a review of Aston Villa, and I would like to do another video on Palace, on my opinions on the future. I've talked a little bit about it. I may have briefly mentioned it about that. I think Roy Hodgson will probably go at the end of the season, and I've talked a lot, obviously, as we all have, about the transfer window and how a disaster it was, and that January probably isn't even going to get any better. Even if we sold Zaha for 100 million, we're not going to spend it or leave it to the last minute. But anyway, let's not get carried ahead. We've got to wait until time gets nearer and then see what happens. We can predict loads. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, Palace fans, or any football fan. Oh, very quickly, I would like to share my deepest sympathies and apologies for the Bury fans after the tragic news they heard yesterday of losing their football club. It has now gone extinct and been excluded from the Football League. And I don't know that feeling. Palace have been close to going out of business twice, but we got saved. And so I can't share, I don't know what that feeling is like, losing your club, but I really, really share my sympathies with you, and I really, really hope that, football fans all across the country send you their support. We all do. Football is a great part of this country. It's a great part of this world, and one of the greatest passions that is it's part of people's therapy, you could say. It's part of their life, that joy of getting a scarf and getting a shirt and going to watch your favourite club. It's one of the greatest feelings ever, and the fact that they're not going to have that anymore is heartbreaking. Really is heartbreaking, and the same could happen to Bolton in a couple of weeks' time. Really sorry, but my condolences are for you, and any support that you need. I know there's nothing much now, but if you choose to, reform again, I'll be there to support. As Bill Shankly said, some say football is a matter of life and death. I can assure you it's much more important than that. Well, I think that's what he said, or close enough to that. Anyway, love to you all. Keep watching football. Keep supporting the Palace, any club or any club, whoever's watching. And I shall see you all at Selhurst against Aston Villa on Saturday. Take care. South London and proud.